I don't want to be like too high of praise, but he feels like he's got the sort of speed of a Jalen Waddle in the body of a CeeDee Lamb.
I think he's the best route runner of the class. Honestly, comp-wise, I think he's a faster, more physical Amari Cooper.
For me, at number 2 is Jameson Williams from Alabama. Jameson, out of all the receivers, I think is the most, and it's tough because we didn't get to see him do the NFL Combine, but I think he's the most physically impressive receiver in the draft. 6'2", so he's got the height. He's not necessarily like bulky like Treylon Burks is, but not like super skinny or anything. Not Devonta Smith by any means. Blazing speed, and I think he carries a lot of comparisons, in my opinion, to a lot of the previous Bama receivers that have come out, like Smith, like Jalen Waddle, like just very technically sound wide receiver. Not a lot of things that he can't do, but I think the difference is that he has that sort of game-breaking speed. So he feels like, and I don't want to be like too high of praise, but he feels like he's got the sort of speed of a Jalen Waddle in the body of a CeeDee Lamb, which I think is just a really impressive piece about him. So I think he's a home run talent. Sort of just like George Pickens, though he does have the injury concern, which is really my only knock on him. And this is just something that you're going to see no matter where no matter what receiver you are. But I think it's pretty heightened, at least for these Alabama guys, is that they're not going to be able to separate as much as they were in the NFL as they did in college. And so I think that his speed won't necessarily be as game breaking as it was in college, to where he could just run by anyone. But still, I think that he's an absolute burner. And so we'll see what he's able to do. Obviously, it looks like he's supposed to be back by training camp, but Jameson Williams, he is my number 2.
So my number 1 is Jameson Williams, like you mentioned. I think he's the best route runner of the class. I think he's also the best with the ball in his hands. Very good at going up and grabbing the ball. Very good at being an aggressive catcher. Just attacking the ball, not letting the defender get it. I mean, so I think 50-50 balls are viable with him. More like with him and Christian Watson, and I would put Treylon Burks there. They're the type of guys where 50-50 balls are more like 60-40, 70-30, really, especially with a good quarterback. Obviously, I think he has great speed, great acceleration. You mentioned that. But he plays with a physicality, too, that I like. Obviously, the ACL tear stinks, but I think we've seen enough guys come back, especially at this time and age, where one's not a concern. Honestly, comp-wise, I think he's a faster, more physical basically more aggressive Amari Cooper. And I know that's high praise. Maybe a little bit less, in terms of size. I'm not sure the measure. I think he said he was 6'2". Not sure. You remember what Amari's
6'1", so he's
okay.
about an inch taller.
About an inch taller. Maybe not be as good of a route runner as Amari was coming out, but Amari is like a generational route runner in terms of that. But I still think the best route runner of the class, and nonetheless, yeah, I'll be interested to see where he does go. Even with the ACL tear, I expect him to go first round as well. Obviously, I don't think he's going to be the first receiver off the board because of that. Because especially some teams, I guess, they don't want to wait a few weeks. I don't know. It's weird.
Just don't let him fall to the Chiefs, please.
It's going to happen if my Packers are in front of them. I just get a bad feeling. Nonetheless, Buffalo, go get him if the Chiefs are right. Anyways, nonetheless, he's my number 1. I just feel like he's the most surest one. Like if we had to compare it to last year's class, I'd probably put him right behind Jamar. Definitely behind Jamar Chase. I'm not sure if I'd put him ahead of Devonta, I probably would, but if he were healthy, obviously, ACL tear, I probably would put him behind Devonta and Jalen Waddle, just for comparison's sake. But obviously, now we know that those 3 guys are pretty good, so that doesn't help. But nonetheless, Jameson Williams is my number 1 receiver.